Good evening, welcome. I'm Max from Maximum Training. I want to talk to you tonight a bit about easy training. You might have read all over the place 220, Triathlon Plus, coaching books, but for us as triathletes, most of our easy training is too hard and most of our hard training is too easy. It sounds simple enough, but what do we actually mean by easy training, and how easy is easy? What do we do? Perhaps a little background first of all, that if we talk about easy training, the point is about building our aerobic system, building our fat burning systems, reducing likelihood of injury and increasing that capillarization of our slow twitch muscle fibres. First of all, our energy use, that if we're exercising nice and easy, then our predominant energy system, so where we're getting our energies for the resynthesis of the muscles and the resynthesis of the adenosine triphosphate, is through fats. The moment that we start exercising too hard, our energy system changes to sugars and so carbohydrates and sugars, which is fine, but then we use that all of the time. If we're training at a nice low intensity, so our easy training, and we're teaching our bodies how to utilize fat, how to burn fat. So when we come to race, our fat burning system becomes a lot more effective and we can use that a lot more. Another benefit of easy training is that muscle capillarization, that muscle oxygen energy use. What we want lots of oxygen going to our muscles. And that can only be achieved through the capillarization, through the veins, the arteries, the capillaries going to the muscles. Once our exercise starts getting too hard, then our body is too busy trying to get the oxygen for the muscles, rather than allowing any physiological changes to happen, rather than allowing for increased capillarization, so more and increase the size and the number of red blood cells flowing to the muscles. Another important aspect of easy training is the likelihood of reducing injury. So an article just here, so what's this, Hunter and Smith from 2007, so it's 10 years old, talks about their preferred and optimal stride frequency and fatigue during a 1 hour intensity run. And it as a summary, it says, as our fatigue level builds, so our form and our stiffness, muscle stiffness, our stride frequency changes. So by having an easy run, we can maintain a better form. So when we're actually training, we're training the muscles, the motor programs that we want to learn how to do it. But a bit of background. First of all, lastly I suppose, how easy is easy? Lots of different ways of calculating it. Depends on what you want to use. So our first way, we can have 3 different ways of doing it. We can look at our breathing. So our level 1, our easy training, we should be able to hold a conversation like this whilst we're training. That would be stage 1. Intermediate training, slightly hard training, we're going to want to have a few breaths between. So we need to regroup our breath. And at our high level, we can't talk. We're so busy exercising that we can't actually talk. Okay, so that's one way of calculating it. So at easy, we should be able to have these sorts of conversations while we're training. We're social animals. We like training with other people. Let's have those conversations. A second way, heart rate. Heart rate is extremely variable. So you have a coffee, you have a stressful day at work, and your heart rate will change. A rough but fairly accurate ballpark way of calculating what should be an easy exercise is 180. So you take 180, take away your age. So if you are less than 40, take away 180 minus 40 gives you 140. So you want to be exercising for an easy exercise session with a maximum heart rate of about 140 beats per minute. We said it was quite easy. Other ways that you might be familiar with this, Alan and Coggan, about training with a power meter, they specify different zones. So they specify here on page 51, 7 different zones. They give the example here that if you have an FTP, so an importance of knowing your FTP, if you have an FTP of 290, Zone 1, which is active recovery. Zone 2 is endurance, which is where we're going to be working, is a maximum heart rate, a maximum power output of 218 watts for Zone 2 and 160 watts for Zone 1. For those of us that are nowhere near 290 watts, if you have an FTP of 200, then that would put that Zone 1 at up to about 110 watts and Zone 2 up to about 150 watts. So we want to be doing the majority of our training under sort of 150 watts if we're using Coggle. If we're using different ones, if we're using Daniel's running formula, so we're looking at running, again, very good, specifies, it talks about that 80% of your training should be in that easy zone. Okay, and how easy is easy? So Daniel's suggests in here, and as you see, he breaks down, I should mark this one, lots of training bits. There we go. Some idea times and things. So if you're, an example, if you're running a 10k in about 50 minutes, then most of your running will be at about 9:50 minute miling, which is about 6 minutes a kilometre pace. At that pace, if you notice, all of the others come together. You're running a 10k in 50 minutes at 9:50 pace. You can have this conversation. Your heart rate will be down around about 140. If you're cycling at 150 watts with an FTP of 200, you're having these sorts of conversations. So next time, so you're spending 80% of your time, roughly, and Google it, look it up. Most of these authors are talking about 80% or so of your time should be spent in easy training. We started by saying why, and now we've just given you 4 different ways of calculating how easy that easy training is. Later, one of these casts, I'll look at how hard is. If our easy training is too hard and our hard training is too easy, let's look at what these authors and what other people say that our hard training should be to make sure we're getting the most from it. Easy training, 80% of your training, body's used at burning fat, you're reducing the likelihood of injury, you're performing at a better style and performance, and you're allowing your body to actually recover, to increase the capillarization, to increase the oxygen that's getting to the muscles. Okay, so a max from maximum training. Any comments? I've done this before, I suppose stick them below. Or message me, max@maximumtraining.co.uk. Enjoy your nice easy training from now on. Thanks a lot, bye.